Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. I have a really cool video for you guys today. I'm going over a bunch of photos that I took in a photo shoot probably about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Real fun shoot, shot a lot of really good photos, and I thought I'd share some things that kind of how it flows for me and what my normal flow is when I'm doing a shoot like this one. Now, Julie here is 18 months old or something like that, real close. Anyway, there were a couple of firsts in this particular shoot, and I thought I'd talk about those first. The first is that Mom got out of the car, walked over to my vehicle. We met at this park, and she said to me, well, whatever you do, don't talk to Julie. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, she's scared of men. And she's in that stage where she's scared of men. And I'm like, oh, great, here we go. So, figured, I'll make the best of it. I'll shoot a long lens. But the funny thing is that I hadn't planned on taking my 300-2.8. But I said, you know what, I'll grab it and I'll take it anyway. So I'm really glad that I did, because I ended up using it for 3/4 of the shoot, because I had to stay a little bit farther away from her. Now, by the time the end of the shoot came along, she was fine. She was warmed up to me. Not an issue. But initially, I don't really show it in a lot of these, but initially, I was getting some dirty looks. So it was interesting, to say the least. So anyway, something to think about. In other words, sometimes it's good to overpack and to take a few too much equipment. And in this shoot, I horribly overshot. I'd never try to overshoot like this, but it was just one of those shoots where it was more journalistic than anything, and less posing, and so I ended up just doing a lot of journalistic shots. So that's when you're a little bit farther away and you're not able to pose as much, and you shoot more. So anyway, it happens sometimes. So we try to avoid it, but it happens. Anyway, these first 3 photos that I have here, they are really just starter photos. They're not really that great. The lighting isn't that great. Cute face, but the door in the background, sitting at the top of these steps, she's a cute little kid, so that really helps, but overall, it's not that great of a shot. And what I actually do with the first couple of locations and poses is kind of get the kids warmed up. I really only have an hour. I'm going to turn that phone off and the other phone off. I really only have an hour to work with the kids. So I do my best or I should say, I try to limit it to an hour. And so I do my best to make sure that I don't have any distractions, if at all possible. And the first shot is really a set of warm-ups. So here is the next setting for the next spot. All right, zoomed out, as you can see the setting, and not the final photo. This is the final photo, nice and tight, in real close. This is what we're looking for. But again, this is my setup. This is the scene where she was sitting, the placement. All right, she's right out in front. She's not right up against the flowers, which makes a big difference. You get that nice shallow depth of field, so that everything is blurry in the background, and you get a lot more focus, and your eyes stay on the subject, which is what you want. Now, as you see in this picture here, there's the porch. And here is the porch that I have her standing on. Now, a couple of these flowers, I don't know what they are, were poking through. I said, that might be a pretty good one. And here's one of those disgusted looks, or kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, looks that I was getting because she's scared of me. And I'm a big guy, and obviously I'm trying to stay down low, sitting on the ground, or something like that, so I don't look quite as big and quite as menacing. Obviously, I'm a big guy, so that's a little difficult, but anyway, trying that lower angle definitely makes a difference, and I do that for kids no matter what, trying to get down on a lower angle rather than a higher one. It's just a natural thing to do. It's a much better position to be shooting into their face rather than kind of down on top of them. It just doesn't work most of the time. So anyway, had a couple of those. Here's 4 of those. And by the way, all of my 1-star photos here in Lightroom are the ones that I'm going to show to Mom, with the exception, I think, of these 3. I think I'm going to get rid of those and not show her, because realistically, again, they're really not that great. There's other ones that are much, much stronger that we'll show instead. So here's the point right here. I think this was the first photo where I went to the 300, yes. Okay, so from this point forward, I was shooting with the 300 2.8. These first ones were with the 70 to 200 2.8. So I started out here, and it's a little shallow depth of field. I typically don't like to get this much of the foreground in front of the subject out of focus. But with the distance and the lens and all those things, I probably could have gone to f4 or 5.6 if I wanted, but I still like it to be shallow. So these are okay. She might like them, but I think there's a little bit stronger ones once again. But overall, they're not too bad. They're fun. She's getting, she's cute. This is real cute. I do like that. Playing with the flowers, looking right there. That's really good. And now, obviously, I have Mom next to me the whole time, waving, talking. I'm actually trying not to talk to her a little as much as possible, trying to keep my voice down whenever possible so that I'm not as loud. Obviously, I have a big, deep voice, so, little girls might be scared of a big, deep voice. So that's the way it is. Then Mom said to me here, hey, will you shoot a photo of her butt? And so we tucked her dress into her pants, and she actually has, you can see it best here, I think, she actually has her name written on her pants, so she wanted a photo of that, and it worked out really well because this gazebo she kept on going back. We would pull her away to the garden here, but then she would walk right back up to the gazebo just as soon as she got distracted or whatever. So it worked out. Now these next ones, this next series right here. But this is the other side of the garden, a little bit tighter. I'm on the other side, and so it has everything in the background, which ends up being really nice. Love this one, love this. Really great expressions. These couple words, cutting the top of her head off, really doesn't bother me. It's not really an issue, but just fun stuff, fun tight shots. Next one is a prop that I brought in, and these... I actually have this pot. I bought it at Home Depot or something like that a long time ago. And, oops, didn't want that. Okay. So, just had her sit in the pot, put it in a nice cute position with a lot of flowers around her, and then give her something to play with and touch and feel and, keep her occupied. And she loved it. She loved sitting in the pot. And then Mom said, where's your belly? And that's where we get this shot. She pulls up her dress to show her belly. So, all fun stuff that moms and dads want to see and grandmothers, grandparents want to see. Next, we're still walking around. This time we have the flower. And nice shallow depth of field. Everything blown out in the background. Really cute. She's got great attention. Doesn't matter that she's not looking at the camera. It's still a great shot. This would probably make an awesome black and white, but I think it needs to be color because of the awesome shades in the flower. Alright, so now she was just walking around the flowers right here, and that's pretty much the same thing, just kind of wandering around. Then we get down in here, once again, another prop. Still have the flower, but this time it's a little wheelbarrow that I have. It's real beat up, but it's perfect because it's small and looks old and antique. Now, obviously, I'm situated on a hill here with the background. I don't think I have another photo that shows you the full background, but it's a good distance away. It's pretty far away, probably, I'd say 300 yards down to the farm down here. All right. Something I will mention, you see all these little spots here. Summertime here in Pennsylvania, it's normal to have spots that are bugs. So I'll typically edit those out, and there's nothing you can do about the bugs. So they follow us around, so we end up editing them out, just spotting them out and to get rid of them, because otherwise they look like dirt or something in a print, and you can't really tell what they are unless they're a part of your photo, obviously. But in this case, they're not. So had her play around with it, tried to get her to lift it up with two hands, which is really cute. That worked. And we had another one. There it is. There's another one where she's on it with two hands, has her flower in the cart. Nice and cute. Fun shot. Now these couple were a little overexposed. Alright, here's the one that is overexposed. And then there's this one that I recovered back in Lightroom with Lightroom 4 with the new process and converted it to black and white, and it looks really cool. I love the super high contrast. Sometimes I actually used to do that back in the day, was be overexpose an image intentionally and then bring it back in Photoshop, making it black and white. It's a different process. It looks pretty cool sometimes. Not something I like to do a lot, but yeah, I'll try it this time. Here we were just still wandering around there on the hill. Nice shallow depth of field. By the way, these photos are mostly unedited. That's why in some of them you see a little bit heavy shadow on the one side of the face. Unedited, haven't touched them yet, hardly. Maybe I applied some white balance to them and a black and white to a couple, but that's about it. Let's see. Still wandering around. She was at this point. She's getting obviously a lot closer. We get some really cute looks from her. I love how this one is kind of bright and open and dreamy. Yeah, it's overexposed over here. In this case, I don't think it matters. I would print it just like this. I love how bright it is, and her face and her eyes, and just I don't know, it just seems dreamy or something. I don't know. It's just really, really neat. I would definitely try and make that black and white too to see how it would look in a black and white. It might be completely different and have a different feel. I think it would be worth trying out. Switched to a couple verticals, and then Mom said, hey, I'd love to see if she'll put my glasses on because she loves to wear them, but we couldn't keep them on her face. But at least we got these couple that were fun. And actually there you can see me in the background sitting down. This is my 300, and then I have it on a monopod. You can barely see the monopod right there because it's obviously out of focus, but still funny. There I am again in the corner of the glasses. So anyway, fun. Then there's one more spot. This one has a kind of a path or a road that goes down in between a line of trees, which is always makes for a great photo. And so we got her down there and roaming around. I did ask Mom to change her dress, and her dress is yellow, so that's why final images in this set would be black and white. Any prints I'd make would be black and white. Maybe someday I'll do another edited version or a video to show you how I edited this image. It's actually kind of interesting to see what I did just to make sure that you can see her and highlight her very well. But it worked out great. It looks, it's awesome. I love the kind of the intensity, even though she's not looking at the camera. I just think it's a cool photo, and it really doesn't matter. I know Mom loved it, so that's the bottom line. So I think that's about all I wanted to talk about on this. A couple other of those firsts. Or number one, or the first one, don't talk to the baby. Number two, I did get a hug at the end, so that was cool because she was warmed up to me. So maybe next time we do photos, she won't be as bad. Shooting so much with the 300, that was a first for a girl this age, for a little kid this age. Usually I'm not with the 300 that much. I'm usually a little bit closer, interacting a little bit more. With the 70 to 200, I can get almost the same depth of field, or the shallow depth of field, that is. Maybe a little bit less, but it's still perfect. And I'm kind of able to interact with them a little bit better when I'm closer. So I think that's everything here today. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, I'd love to hear them, so send them over. Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Thanks, guys. See ya.